No one needed a crystal ball to predict that Marat Safin would be a tennis star. Born in Moscow on January 27, 1980, Marat was introduced to the game at a very early age and immediately showed promise on the court. His mother, Rosa, was a former Russian tennis ace who used to take baby Marat with her when she practiced at the local tennis club. Managed by his father, Mikhail, introduced to tennis at a very early age. Marat first picked up his racket almost as soon as he could walk at the age of 5 and was hitting balls alongside a toddler by the name of Anna Kournikova, another member of his father's tennis club until 1992. When Marat hit his teenage year, his parents decided to send the burgeoning ability abroad. Realising their son could not fulfil his potential using the less than adequate facilities of the Russian Tennis Federation, Marat and his mother soon visited a specialist tennis academy in Valencia, where Maria Pascual, a former director of Spanish women's tennis, was asked to assess the potential of the Russian teenager. Pascual liked what she saw and managed to persuade a Swiss client to sponsoring Marat and keeping him at the Spanish academy. For 4 years, Marat lived in Valencia, employing Pascual as his career advisor, lodging with a retired teacher and studying at the tennis academy. The now crown prince of Russian tennis was to pick up the Spanish language, which today he speaks fluently. However, in 1997, his sponsor changed management company and Marat was sent back to his native Moscow. But despite homesickness at first, Marat had learned to love Spain and begged his agency to let him return to his adopted Spanish home. They agreed, and Marat still lives in Valencia today, where he employed Spaniard Rafael Mensua as his coach. Mensua held the post until 2001. His first title came in 1997. The boy wonder won a challenger tournament in Espino just months before he turned professional. Marat's first ATP Tour experience came in November of the same year at the Kremlin Cup, held in his hometown of Moscow, where he failed to become the star of the show, suffering a crushing first-round defeat. However, this early setback did nothing to deter the then 17-year-old, who proceeded to gain in stature as a championship player from every match. He won his first ATP title less than 2 years later, beating Briton Greg Rosetsky in the final of an ATP Tour event in Boston in 1999. The following year, seeded 6th at the US Open, Marat played a near-perfect match in the final against 13-time Grand Slam record holder Pete Sampras to reach the pinnacle of world tennis. Marat outplayed a helpless Sampras 6-4, 6-3, 6-3 in 1 hour and 38 minutes of near-exhibition tennis, making 37 winners and only 12 unforced errors. At the same time, never dropping his serve and only having to face 2 break points during the entire match. The triumph of the homegrown tennis star was greeted with rapture across Russia, where tennis fans continued to celebrate 48 hours after his historic victory. News bulletins on all television channels were dominated by reports on the Russians' dazzling victory over the tennis icon. Even Russian President Vladimir Putin joined in on the celebratory mood, firing off a message of congratulations from the Kremlin to the young Russian within hours of his straight sets victory over the American. He drew further national praise when in 2002 he led Russia to its first ever victory in the prestigious Davis Cup over France in Paris. The future certainly looks rosy for Marat. Legendary tennis champion John McEnroe already predicting him as a future top tenor and potential world number 1. Through deed rather than word, Marat is certain to get there.